Hi, and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
And today we are reviewing Wonder Woman 1984. I thought we'd just do our initial immediate feelings as we've come out of the cinema. It was quite an experience to watch something at the cinema again for such a long time. And I'm
Yeah.
really glad it's this one. This poor film has been pushed back and pushed back, but finally we have this film. So I feel like it's been quite a while. It feels like we've been waiting for quite a while.
Yeah, it does.
We obviously have Gal Gadot reprising her role as Wonder Woman. We have, if you've seen the trailer, you know that Chris Pine is in it, and I won't spoil how he's in it, but he's still great in it. We have Kristen Wiig, who is a character that is strong. If you've seen the trailers again, I'm not going to spoil that for you, but I really enjoyed her character. And we have Pedro Pascal, who is just kicking ass at the moment in everything he does. He's just great, but I thought he was great about this.
he was
Do you want to
fantastic.
talk about your initial feelings before I talk?
Okay.
talk about
Initial feelings are that it didn't blow me away initially. Like, it didn't, kick me in the guts and go, this film is awesome. It was a good film. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was inspiring. It felt like it had a lot of heart. Like, a lot of, heavy on the feels, but more of the thinking feelings, if that makes sense. It made you think about your own life and what would you do in that situation, and what does it actually really mean to be a hero? What does it actually mean to be the good guy? And I thought it was done really well. I thought that the filming was beautiful. The special effects were really stunning, really pretty, really some unusual ones I hadn't seen before, which is always nice to see. I thought the acting was, for the most part, spectacular. There were a few moments that I didn't buy, particularly with child actors.
Okay.
But, well, it's not so easy to do that.
No.
But yeah, I thought it was a good movie. Yeah.
I actually think it's going to split audiences because of the type of movie it is. And I love this movie because of how brave it is, because Patty Jenkins has once again not gone for the normal hero type of movie. So in the first film, we have the building of the character. We have her coming into her powers, which is great. I don't absolutely love the first one because of the ending. I think the first film is great. It does everything right. But then you have that big bad boss battle CGI-ness that just never quite worked for me. This one is different because you do have a big bad, but there is so much character building. The first half of the film is basically just character building. There isn't a lot of action. You have a lot of dialogue scene. It can feel very slow in parts.
There was a little bit where I was like, ooh.
I was having that picture. Some people do this roller coaster picture of how the movie is, and it does. It goes up, an amazing opening scene, so fun. It just really set me in the 80s vibe. They tick all the 80s vibe boxes, arcades, costumes.
Yes.
Costume scenes are brilliant.
Yeah.
And then it dips like this. Not that it's boring, it just goes into, okay, now we're building our characters. And I would say for the most part, this isn't a Wonder Woman movie. We have a lot of Chris Pine kind of development. We had a lot of our other two main protagonists, Kristen Wiig and Pedro Pascal. They really build those characters. So when we understand, I don't know that we necessarily like them. I would say Pedro Pascal, you can see from the trailers, he's the bad.
Yeah.
But you really understand and you feel for him.
Yeah.
And I've always said that about bad guys. If your bad guys are not good, if you don't give time to your bad guys, then you're not going to give your heroes time to actually be your heroes, because then there's no real plight. There's just, another bad guy, generic bad guy.
Yeah.
This time round, by the time we do get to the action, and when we do get to the action, oh my days, it's great. I was with them because I thought, wow, okay, I really care about these characters.
Yeah.
Good guys, bad guys, middle guys. It's not very just good guys, bad guys. It's not black and white.
It's not cardboard cutouts. They've made real people, and I think that's really interesting because you don't get that very often in superhero films.
Yeah, so that's partly where I think it's going to split fans. The other part is The culmination of this movie has a preachy side. It will.
It
There will
does a bit, yeah.
definitely be people who's like, if humanity does this and we all come together and blah 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 blah, there will definitely be people that say, stop preaching at me. That's not what I need from a film. I say, understand where this film was going, and there is a need for that because of what our characters have gone through. There's a fruition in the storyline that makes sense. It can come across a bit cheesy,
Yes.
but you understand why they did it. For the fans, there are two moments in this movie that absolutely blew me away. Fan service 100%, but not just fan service for the sake of fan service.
Yeah.
The way it was portrayed on screen, I'm sure you know the moments I'm talking about. There's one in the sky, and it was just
That's what I was thinking of.
it's
Yeah.
just so beautiful. And then when you're like the geek like me, it's like, oh, they're gonna do it, oh, they're gonna do it, and then they do it, but then they take it to another level. I would have loved to have been in the cinema. I would have loved. I was in the cinema. I would have loved to have been in the writing room when the writer wrote that bit and went, because sometimes as a writer, I do so much writing at the moment. So I know when I've done something good. I read it back and I'm like, this is gold. This really works. I bet you that was one of the moments. And you'll know it when you see it, because it's just, you're like, oh, this is so good. And then there's another moment. There's a couple of moments like that. The third moment I want to talk about that you may miss, and the people in the cinema that were with us missed it for definite.
They did.
There's this
Scene.
If you read the news articles, there's this scene that everybody's talking about, that the director, Patty Jenkins, has said there is a post-credit scene. It isn't post-credits. We stayed right till the end just in case there was another scene. It's midway through credits.
Yeah, it's actually more towards the beginning of the credits, so you
just-
don't have to sit through
You
the
don't
whole
have
of
to
the
sit through the credits if you don't want to. I always like to, if I can. It's like paying respect to the whole cast and crew. But there is definitely a post-credit scene, and it's 100% fan service and building a story for further.
Yeah, it
you
really
need
does.
to watch it. It's actually a post-credit scene that you're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's levels of, oh, and it's like, oh, and then it's, oh. Have you ever seen Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, where they're all going, oh?
Yeah, it's like
And
that.
also talking about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, every time Steve was there, I just want to go, Steve!
Can.
And yeah, so all in all, I thought it did have a few dips, but I understood why they were doing it. It's like massive world building, massive character development. When the action gets going, it gets going well. It's not just action for the sake of it. You feel their plight. You know why they're doing it. It does feel a little bit long than it needs to be, I think.
Yeah, I thought so.
I think they could have shaved some of the dialogue exposition that they do sometimes in this. It all looks very good, clean. I think they've got Wonder Woman down, like to a T. The fighting looks incredible. The moves she does, the way she starts exploring more of her powers in this film is done so well. It's just like, yes, I remember this bit from Superman. It reminded me a lot of that, and was like, they've done that well. Some Superman films don't do quite well the building of the character when he comes into his own powers. Wonder Woman, I was like, yeah. So, without going into spoilers, because I don't want to do that, I'm going to give this an A. It's probably started at a B minus for me. I was like, yeah, this is good, but I'm not sure where it's going. I didn't really like the MacGuffin they were using for the storyline. So this reminds me of like bad mummy movies sort of thing.
Bad Aladdin.
Yeah, bad Aladdin. But by the time you get to the end, you're like, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
It really created, it worked on itself. It grew and grew and grew.
Yeah.
And I would say that the beats of the film might be a bit jarring. So you're like, okay, we're there, and then you understand. It's like it's like you grow into it. Okay. And I think like the characters are growing into it. By the time you get into it, it all makes sense, but it may take you a little bit to get into the movie.
Right. I felt, all in all, that it was a lovely movie. That would be the word that I would describe it.
Lovely.
It's lovely. It's got a beauty to it, I thought, emotionally. That it made me feel positive at the end.
That's exactly what we need now from a superhero movie. And Patty Jenkins, she's very outspoken about what she believes, and I think she definitely has put some of herself in this as director. She's got a message in this film.
There's definitely a message,
but I don't think it overbears itself. It's not
Yeah.
like
The story,
listen to me.
the story is the message.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, we've rambled long enough.
So what are you giving it?
I would give it an A as well.
Okay, so I hope you don't mind. I'm not putting all the bells and whistles for this review. It's just immediate what we think and what we felt. What did you give it?
A.
I immediately forgot. And I'm going to give it an A as well, which I think I've already said. Yeah, so chat us in the comments below. If you're in the US, are you going to try and find a cinema to watch this in, or you're going to watch this in HBO Max on the 25th? If you're here in the UK...
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
That would actually be a good Christmas Day movie.
Great Christmas Day movie, and full of hope, which I
Yeah.
like, yeah. If you're in the UK, are you, or elsewhere where you're lucky enough to get this in the cinema, is this your first outing to the cinema again?
Unless you're one of the unlucky ones in Tier 3.
Oh yeah, we're in Tier 2, so we're lucky enough to be able
We
to
are
go and
very
watch
lucky.
it. But if you're in Tier 3, yeah,
back
you're
in
going to have
lockdown.
to wait a while. Yeah. All right, guys, do chat to us in the comments below. Let me know if you want a spoiler review for this one. I don't often do cinema reviews, but
For spoilers.
for spoilers.
Yeah.
But if you want to chat about it, then let me know. I'll be happy to do that. But until next time, remember,
Live long and Tuesday.
Tuesday.